What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for another One Piece review. The Voyage continues with episode 1104, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to join the council and become a part of the crew. Ladies and gentlemen, the council is now in session. Let the meeting begin. Alright everybody, welcome back for another week of One Piece. Thank you all for joining me for another week. As always, I hope everybody is doing super fantastic, everybody. So, we don't really have a long episode this week. You know, we're back on track finally. All for today, we only got the 1104 review. But just like I said last week, though, I do got an update for our regular scheduled episodes here. So, I'm going to start planning on releasing the One Piece review episodes every Wednesday, though this episode might come out on Thursday, but nonetheless, make sure you be here every Wednesday for our weekly One Piece reviews, everybody. I'm gonna try and stick to that day. If we need to push it back to Thursday, we will, but we'll see. You know, we'll see how this works out for right now. So as of right now, Wednesday is going to be the days for our weekly One Piece reviews, everybody. But before we start this review, I do want to start off the review with the question of the week, everybody, because this was kind of like a off topic, everybody. Well, not necessarily off topic, but regardless, the question of the week is, did Kaido awaken his devil fruit? And so I've been thinking about this for a while now. I know, especially ever since we've been getting all the extra information about devil fruits and stuff for this arc, right? So we know for Zoan devil fruit users that when they awaken, you know, they get that cool little arch around them whenever they get their awakening, right? But we never saw that for Kaido. I guess the most you could only say we saw that for Kaido was when he goes into his dragon form. He does have like those flame rings around his arms. I'm not sure those are like the kind of the same things, and like, you know, it can't necessarily wrap around his body because he's a big dragon, so like they just wrap around his arms instead. So that could be the case. But then, you know, on top of that, with the two other forms that we saw Kaido go into, you know, he was in his man beast form one time. He got like even more dark purple at one point. Then, like, you know, he got all those extra facial features and divine features on his face and stuff like that. So you saw that his form actually changed, but he, you know, in that change, he didn't get the arc either. And then even with the, you know, the flame dragon torch thing that he did at the end for the finale, right? That, you know, he didn't have anything around his, no, he didn't have the arches around his body either. So it just makes me wonder, did Kaido truly ever awaken his devil fruit? Let me know down below comments what you guys think. But nonetheless, everybody, let's get on ahead and start the review. All right, we start off this episode with Bonny still amazed by the giant orange paw she's discovered in the level 3. From there, we immediately get a flashback of Kuma and Dr. Vegapunk in the lab discussing Kuma's powers. In this flashback, we get a hint that Kuma can also use his powers to remove both memories and mental images. As the flashback ends, we see Dr. Vegapunk pleading with Bonny not to touch the paw, as he says it's filled with Kuma's pain. However, Bonny ignores his pleas as she senses something else other than pain coming from the paw. Now, I'd just like to start off by saying I'm amazing. I was correct. Called that right on the money. The orange paw does indeed contain Kuma's memories. That's crazy to even think about that his powers can do that. You know, like, Kuma's powers are crazy. This man can, you know, use his powers for attacking. Now apparently, you know, he can use his powers to even erase people's minds if he really wanted to. He can transfer people's pains. Like, Kuma is kind of OP once you really think about it. But nonetheless, I'm still not understanding the overall decision to remove his memories and, you know, his humanity or whatnot to do or go accomplish whatever he got to do at Marie's Wall. The only reasoning I can think for why he would have to do such thing is because, you know, now that we know that Bonny is his daughter, so maybe the love for his daughter will stop him from doing, you know, whatever mission he got to complete, whatever. So he figured he got to push his humanity and his memories, you know, about his love for his daughter and all that stuff to the side so he can go on and complete, you know, whatever mission he got going on right now with Marie Schwa. So that's the only thing I can think of right now. Also, before I move on to the next session, I think another cool thing slash funny thing we could do as a weekly thing is just count how many episodes it's gonna take Kuma to get up the red wall. So as of right now, he's been climbing the wall for 3 episodes. We'll keep this count going until he makes it to the top. So we'll see. You know, let's see how many episodes it's gonna take Kuma to get to the top of the wall. That'll be interesting. But yeah, right now, as of right now, is, you know, 3 episodes in, he's still climbing the wall. But yeah, moving on to the next session, everybody. From there, we transition from inside the lab back outside to where Zoro and Kaku starts to fight. After a brief squabble, Kaku acknowledges Zoro's strength and he goes all out by transforming into his awakened state. Now, I'm glad that Kaku does have his awakened form as well, because I guess it wouldn't be right if Lucci unlocked his awakened form right and Kaku didn't get his. So I'm glad to see that Kaku did get his awakened form as well. I guess not as much more cool things added to it other than the arch and his flame tails, kind of similar to Lucci as well. But it's a nice thing that he did get his awakened form. That's cool. That's dope as hell. I was gonna talk about the Kaido stuff during this time, but we did that earlier during the question of the week. However, it does seem that the my wish for Sanji versus Kaku is still alive, because the stuff that happened with Stussy at the end of the episode that we're gonna get to later on. But it does seem like maybe my wish of Kaku versus Sanji is still alive. I'm definitely ready to see that. And we already know that Zoro versus the Mihawk Seraphim is on the horizon, so I'm definitely hyped for that as well. So cannot wait for that fight as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next session. All right, so as Zoro and the newly awakened Kaku are fighting, the Seraphim make their grand entrance as they stylishly fall from the sky and await their orders from CP0. However, the Seraphim's arrival was unexpected on CP0's end, so to make sure the control of the Seraphim do not fall back to Dr. Vegapunk, Lucci orders the Seraphim to destroy the lab. At the same time though, both Edison, Lilith, Frankie, and Sanji are on their way outside to assist both Zoro and Brook, everybody. And so with all that being said, this leads me into my favorite scene for 1104, which is the Seraphim's assault on the Vegapunk's lab. That scene was so smooth, and I actually found some more information online that specific scene was actually animated by a new animator that made his debut on 1104. His name was Shinosuke Tanaka. So shout out to you, Tanaka. You're doing an amazing job. I hope you have an amazing career, in the anime industry, no matter, if you stay on One Piece or not. Regardless of what you do, you look like a talented animator, and I hope your journey in your career is very fruitful. But yeah, that's amazing. Then I also eventually I do want to start looking into some more of all the animators and stuff who does make One Piece, everybody who brings joy to us on a weekly basis, right? And so we can give some more props and praise to those people as well. But yeah, shout out to Tanaka, the new animator that made his One Piece debut on 1104. The Seraphim's assault on the building was amazing. Like they're just so overpowered. I can't wait for the fights against the Seraphim. Speaking of that as well, so some of the matchups that I'm envisioning here, we already know that Zoro versus the Mihawk Seraphim is gonna happen, right? For the rest of the matchups, I'm thinking we're probably gonna get Sanji versus Kuma, because I do think in terms of destruction level, Kuma is probably the next dangerous person there, right? So I think Sanji will get that one. Maybe then we'll probably have Frankie versus Jinbei, and then like Brook versus Boa. They might switch it up a little bit as well, because we got that situation with both Edison and Lilith coming outside to try and take control of the Seraphims as well. So we also do have to see how that plays out as well. But I didn't mention this before, but I do want to talk about this now. I am expecting a Frankie power up this arc Oda, because we're at Future Island with Dr. Vegapunk, and he got all this cool tech laying around or something. We're laying around everywhere. I'm pretty sure there's something Frankie can use to upgrade his body. This needs to be a power up season, or a power up arc rather, for our boy Frankie. I don't think he's got one since the time skip, if I do believe. I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, I don't think Frankie has gotten his power up since the time skip started. So yes, I think it's time. I think it's time. The egg cake arc should be the Frankie power up arc. But moving on from there. During the chaos of Zoro fighting Kaku and the Seraphim attacking the main lab, Stussy makes her move as she straight up betrays CP0. Stussy briefly takes flight and sneaks up on Kaku and quickly incapacitates him. As the smoke clears, it is revealed to us that Stussy is Mad's first successful clone, and she is modeled after the former member of the Rocks Pirates, Miss Buckingham Stussy. Well, why don't you look at that? And she also appears to have a vampire or bat devil fruit powers. Nonetheless, she then proceeds to make a fool out of Lucci. As Lucci attempts to strike down Stussy, she hits that man with a substitution jutsu, and she swiftly puts him down as well. Is Stussy a friend or foe, everybody? I would also like to start off by saying I would like to apologize to you, Stussy. I was unfamiliar with your game. You know, I thought you was a whole different person out here. I thought you was Khalifa. I really apologize for that. You're a whole different person. I was unfamiliar with your game, but she more than likely does probably have a mythical devil fruit, because I don't know if it's mythical, it'll be on the vampire side, but then if it's not mythical, it'll probably be just a regular bat devil fruit, right? Something along those lines. So it'll be interesting to see which one it is. But I do think it is cool as hell that we're starting to get to see more members of the Rock's Pirates, even though it's technically kind of like, I guess, rehash phrases of them. It's still cool because, you know, as far as we know, the only other members were Whitebeard and Big Mom, and then, you know, of course, Rocks himself. So we didn't really know much about the other members of the Rock's Pirates. So it's cool that we're starting to get more information about them. That's really dope as hell. But nonetheless, everybody, that is the 1104 review for this week. I don't have anything else. So once again, I do want to just to end off this conversation, I just want to remind everybody that Wednesdays is going to be our days for our weekly One Piece reviews, everybody. So just be on the lookout for that, as well as for the Wano finale thing that I know I mentioned a couple of episodes ago. I think my plan is I was gonna break it up into multiple parts, but I think less is more. So I think the max amount of parts I'm gonna break it up into is 3 in total, or maybe less. We'll see. I don't know if I still don't know if I just want to release that episode separately or not. We'll get to that, and then eventually we are as well gonna do a review on the One Piece spinoff that is on Netflix. I'm trying to remember the name of right now though. The Monsters adaptation. There we go. That's on Netflix right now. But I do plan on doing a review of that as well. So hopefully, you know, I get around to sitting down and write my notes for that eventually. But as always, I hope you all had a fantastic time chilling and hanging out with me, and I'll see you all next week. Peace.